So I traded in the Viltrox 135 1.8 Lab for Plena, and let's talk about why. What happened to lead me to this point? So a few weeks ago I had a couple photo shoots coming up and I needed my lab to do them. So right before the photo shoot was supposed to come up, I was out using the lens for some family things. And I'm looking through the camera, taking pictures, everything's fine. I've had it for about 3 months at this point in time. And the autofocus just goes haywire, goes crazy. Starts chattering back and forth real fast, like it doesn't know where it's supposed to be looking at. So the quick backstory on what happened after that is I contacted Viltrox through their website. I contacted Viltrox on their Discord. I posted on Reddit. I found a Facebook group, and a bunch of other people supposedly had the same problem. And a couple people suggested updating the firmware on the lens. So I tried updating the firmware. I tried using the Mac, the Windows over USB. I tried using Android over USB. I tried using Wi-Fi from the phone to the lens to update the firmware. Literally nothing would work. All the apps kept freezing, black screen. It was just not a good time. So while I'm trying to contact Viltrox about this whole ordeal, I felt like I kind of got ghosted by them, and they just said, go talk to where you bought it from. So I bought the Viltrox lens used from B&H. Time, I was like 24 hours outside of the warranty period. So I RMA'd the lens back to B&H, and they honored the warranty even though I was like a couple hours out, which was nice. I was a little worried about that. So B&H said that they couldn't fix it. They didn't have anything to send back in its replacement, so they offered to either give me full return or give me store credit. I had bought it on my Paybu card at the time to avoid the taxes. So I took them up on the store credit offer on the Paybu card. And I thought to myself, do I want to spend another extra $100 and get another Viltrox LAB 135 in its place and risk having the same problem? What was actually kind of funny though, whenever they offered the store credit, is I got an email from Nikon about all the rebates. You know, they're always doing rebates on things. So the Plena had a $200 rebate on its price. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check that out. So with that, they gave me the credit back from the Viltrox. They deducted that from the total price of the Plena, and they put the remaining balance on my Paybu card. So I was very happy with that. Then I could, you know, have 12 months paid off, no interest. I definitely plan on having a lot of photo shoots coming up with this so that I can build up a portfolio for like senior pictures, kid photos, family photos, that sort of thing. And I do want to be upfront and honest, the Viltrox lens was working very well. I shot the couple races on for PVGP, and I had other portrait sessions on it, had some other events, and it worked flawless. And it had a really nice image quality and the whole 9 yards. It was really good. So I'm still going to suggest people can look into one if they don't want to drop $2,000 on a Plena if they're on, you know, Nikon Z. But I will say that you know, Viltrox, their glass might be really nice and come close to being on par with like Tamron and Sigma for third parties. I do feel like their customer support and their programs and apps really need to step it up. So with all that being said, and the history of why I switched over to a Plena, let's open this up and see how it looks. So the first thing is we have a little kind of like a leather lens pouch. The hood, and your warranty paperwork and everything is in here. This thing is already feeling a lot lighter than what the Viltrox was. I believe this is about 250 grams lighter than the Viltrox. So here we have this big chungus of a lens. I gotta say, this thing is so smooth on the focus. Very smooth and dampened on the aperture. And just for a quick comparison of just the size of this lens, I have a 24-70 f4 that I'm certain a lot of people out there on Nikon Z are familiar with. So this is the unzoomed 24-70, and as you can see, that thing is almost twice the size. And if you have a 105 macro, this thing is semi-similar in size to one of those, but it's a little bit thicker. Let me look at the lens mount here real quick. It is sealed, to be expected, and that rear element is really close to the lens mount flange here. It's probably one of the main ways they were able to get the bokeh to look really nice all the way across the frame. Got the big fat S on there for the S line, top of the line stuff. Got 2 programmable buttons on there, your LFN. They're actually the same button, so whenever you program this one and this one, it's the same. So if you're shooting portrait or landscape with your vertical grip or something, it does the same option. And for switches on the outside, it only has 1 switch for autofocus and manual focus. No focus limiter, which is, I guess, okay. I mean, it's mostly going to be used as a portrait lens. And it looks like it was made in Thailand. You got a really nice big 82mm thread on the front. The front element is bulbous, but the actual lens housing sticks out far enough that you can use a regular 82mm threaded filter on there. I have this K&F Concept Nano X filter that I'll be using on the front of this thing. It's a variable ND. Works really nice. I've had this one for a couple of years actually. Fits right on there. Now, there's no cutout on this for filters, and it will not go on with this filter on anyways. And just for thought, this ring at the top here is just a grip. There's not actually anything there. So if we're just going to compare this to a couple things on the Viltrox real quick, the Viltrox will focus 10 centimeters closer than the Plena, and it has slightly better magnification of 0.25 versus 0.20. But one of the positives is the Plena has rounded aperture blades, which is kind of hard to see in there. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera too well, but those things look massive in there. And another nice thing about this, if you're in the video, is this has a declicked aperture ring, and it is not a stepped aperture on the Viltrox, and you can see this in other reviews. I believe Dustin Abbott had a good example of this in his video. Whenever you declick the aperture in the Viltrox and you still try to do it quietly and adjust the aperture, it still has like a stair step, stutter step to it. It is not a constant aperture change. And on all the new S-series lenses, there is no LCD window anywhere on this thing. As mentioned, it's about 250 grams lighter than the Viltrox, but that thing is still like a beer can. It's pretty nice to look at, and I really like the yellow Plena word on there. So with all that being said, we're going to take a couple test shots outside with this, just have some fun real quick. And I know this lens is going to be amazing. No reason why it wouldn't be. So over the next few months, be sure to check out the channel. We will be sure to have a full review on this lens after we get some portrait sessions in, maybe some sports and events. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to check out my opinion and shots from this lens. And if you're looking to support the channel monetarily, I do recommend checking out the 2026 calendars from MW Perspective. There'll be a link in the description below and little pop-ups for the calendars. We have bugs, drone landscapes, and automotive racing. 25 bucks for the small one, 32 bucks for the big one. Ships directly to your house from the website. So until next time, happy shooting. I'll see you out there.